Good evening, everyone. Way 31 Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle doing a little streaming update here on social media. We are on, of course, my Facebook page, Way 31 Facebook page, also on the Way 31 YouTube channel. So I appreciate you all joining us. I'm going to be checking in just to make sure that we are good to go here and that you, most importantly, are able to hear me. So if for some reason you're seeing me talking, but you're not hearing any sound, please let me know. And we will get started from here. Just want to do some updates about what we are looking at weather-wise with the storms coming on in. What we got going on, line of strong and severe thunderstorms moving through the area. Now, what I will say, there are some limiting factors as to why the severe weather threat is not more significant. The main thing is that the atmosphere is not incredibly unstable. If you poke your head outside, I don't recommend doing it when the storms are coming through, but before they arrive in your backyard, you'll notice it doesn't necessarily feel severe weathery out there. Temperatures are coolish. They're warm for this time of year in the low 60s, but in terms of severe weather, it just doesn't have that feel out there. So that is the main limiting factor. What we do have going on, though, in the atmosphere, there is a ton of low-level spin that these storms potentially could tap into that could allow some of these to begin rotating and perhaps produce a tornado. Now, given the overall weather setup, if we were to see a tornado develop, it would likely be brief. It would likely be on the weaker end of the scale. So that is a positive. But again, that's if we can get anything to start spinning. And given the lack of instability in the atmosphere, that may be a little bit difficult. But I'm going to focus in a little closer here on the radar. I'm also going to check here on my Facebook just to make sure folks can hear me. Okay, so there we go. So someone like my, it doesn't feel severe weathery, so you can hear me, so that's some good news. All right, so I'm going to dive in here, so just bear with me. I'm accessing the computers remotely from over here, and we are going to take a look at what we've got going on with our storms moving through. All right, I'm going to zoom in a little closer. And we've got primarily now one main band that is developing, stretching from Athens back through Decatur, Falkville area, Hartselle, down towards Coleman. We have been monitoring this area in northern Limestone County, a little bit of broad rotation. Northern edge of this line is showing signs of what we would call a comma head, which sometimes develops on these strong lines of storm. So there is some broad rotation here back to the northwest of Athens, but nothing that is quite spinning up. What we are going to be watching along this line, any concentrated areas of spin that may be developing along this line of storms. That is our primary tornado threat that we would see form along here. And in particular, we watch for any indentations into the line that might be indicative of that. So watching that very closely on the radar. You do see that east of the Priceville area. But as I take a look here, as we go into a deeper dive into the thunderstorm and we take a look at what's going on rotation-wise, I don't think we're really going to see anything particularly alarming here in terms of any spin. And so that's the good news. I'm not really seeing that. What we do have, though, with the leading edge of this line of storms, broad gust of wind that is going to accompany this as it moves on through. We'll take a look at the northern part of the line. I did mention northwest of Athens. There is some broad rotation. You can kind of see it here back along Highway 99. Just a reminder, when we look at the color scheme here, what it means. Green is blowing towards the radar. We're using the radar in northern Jackson County to get a look at this distance. Red colors blowing away, so there is a sense of some broad rotation showing up here. But when we look at tornado potential, we look at that kind of concentrated in a very, very small area, and we're just not seeing that. And again, all along this line, that's the main thing we're going to be watching for. You take a look at what the line itself looks like, and within that, any areas that look suspicious, and then take a deeper dive to see if there's any circulation. So again, here along Highway 72 in East Limestone, approaching the county line with Madison County, again, there's an area that looks interesting, but as I take a look here at the velocity, nothing that really jumps out here. There may be a little bit of rotation showing up here around French's Mill, again, headed towards Capshaw. But again, nothing that I'm incredibly concerned about at the moment for spinning up. So that is some good news. Go a little bit more down the line here into east parts of East Limestone, again, the Mooresville area, 565, leading edge of the storms going through there. Again, nothing that looks real suspect in terms of any type of spin. It's a similar story, Morgan down into Coleman County as well. So at least at this point in time, let me take a closer look here though, right along the Morgan-Coleman County line. Again, nothing real concerning here. Maybe a little bit of rotation east of 65 here, southeast of Falkville. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But again, nothing that immediately is screaming that we have anything to be concerned about in terms of tornado potential. So when we're tracking these storms, this sort of weather setup, those are the kind of things that I'm constantly looking at just to make sure there's nothing of great concern developing. But I'm going to keep an eye on that there. Along, again, the Morgan and Coleman County line. Otherwise, this is what we've got going through. Stout line of storms, fairly skinny. You're going to get some very heavy rainfall, probably for about 5-10 minutes. And then behind it, you're going to get an extended period of some light to moderate rain. Again, our severe weather threat, this is where it is going to be. Leading edge of this line. Again, it's moving now from Limestone into Madison County. Splitting Morgan County in half right now. Decatur, the worst of the weather has come and gone for you. There's still some thunder happening, but again, the potential for strong wind along this leading edge of the storms has moved to your east. And again, the leading edge of that line extends down into Coleman County. We're hopeful that this is not going to be a super late night. I've got meteorologist Grace Anello here with me, keeping an eye on things. Neither one of us wants to be here super late, and I know for those of you that are tuning in, watching for the updates, I know you don't want to have to stay up real late as well. So let me give you kind of a time of arrival on this line of storms. It is moving fairly quickly to the east, and I'm hoping that that will continue to be the case. So let's kind of track this out. We still have several hours before this is going to clear North Alabama. But here's kind of the general expected timeline at this point in time. Again, the storm's leading edge bearing down on Madison will be moving into Huntsville. So you're going to hear the thunder, you're going to see some lightning, the rain's going to pick up, and the wind may pick up as well. Huntsville coming in here about the next 10 minutes. That'll be arriving towards the downtown area, west side of town. It'll come in a little bit before then. Guntersville, close to midnight. We take you into DeKalb County around 12:30 or so for the Rainsville and Fort Payne area. And again, our primary concern is going to be for some strong wind gusts along this line as it continues to move on through. And hopefully, you know, we originally thought maybe 2 to 3 in the morning before it would get out of here and we would be done with any severe weather potential for the night. Again, the way this is moving right now, if it continues on the current speed that it has been, maybe a little bit earlier than that, maybe by 1:32 in the morning at the latest before everything clears out. Now, I can give you a heads up if you are out into the shoals. Let me kind of show you the bigger picture here. So again, if we're going to get some severe weather, it's along this line where you see the brighter colors. Again, Limestone, Madison County line, see the newest radar sweep coming up. Basically, I-65 and east is where we're going to continue to see that threat. If you're to the west, you're done. And the Weather Service is even talking about they'll likely be canceling some part, and they just did. So there you go. So I'm about to talk about it. So the tornado watch has been canceled for you folks out here into the shoals. So if you're in Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin, Lawrence County, tornado watch has been dropped. You may have got an alert on your phone if you're signed up for those alerts on the Way 31 Storm Tracker weather app that indeed has happened. So that is an update. Basically along into the east of where this line is, the tornado watch does continue. But again, severe weather threat is now over and done with out here toward the shoals. You can go to bed if you're still watching. Just rain for you. Again, the stronger storms now coming into Madison County. So anywhere from Harvest to Madison, into Huntsville, eventually Meridianville, Hazel Green area, over towards Owens Crossroads, New Hope. That's going to be coming through likely over the next 30 to 45 minutes. Decatur, the worst of the weather has moved to your east. So even though Morgan County still officially in the tornado watch, Athens still officially in the tornado watch, the threat for Athens to Tanner to Decatur, it's over and done with, as the line of storms, the most intense part of it, has now passed to your east. Threat, though, does remain from near Falkville, points eastward. We're talking over towards Eva, the Lacey Spring area. You can see a new severe thunderstorm watch just issued for Lincoln and parts of Franklin County, southern Middle Tennessee. That's for the line here in northeast Limestone County. So you will see this coming in over the next 45 minutes or so across that area of southern Middle Tennessee. And again, right now, primary threat is going to be for some strong wind gusts. But again, to the west of the line, if you're basically now west of 65, threat's over with. You can go to bed. It's just going to rain for a few more hours. East of 65, different story. Got to wait for the line to come on through. But again, for Huntsville, I expect probably by midnight, likely we'll have cleared the city. Fayetteville, probably about the same amount of time. Gunnersville, though, still you'll be waiting for this heaviest line to come on through. You've got plenty of rain out there right now. But again, our primary threat is going to be the possibility for some strong wind gusts. I'm going to check in here. Let's see, I'm going to go through Facebook, see if I can answer a few questions that folks may have. Appreciate everyone that's tuning in and watching. Again, Jordan mentioned it doesn't feel severe weathery, new favorite quote. You know, and I like it when that happens. When I step outside on a severe weather day and you just don't have that feeling that there's going to be anything real significant. Again, these storms are going to pack a punch, so don't get me wrong. But as far as a widespread severe weather threat, particularly a tornado threat, it does not look like the atmosphere is set up for that. Still the possibility, though, we could get a brief spin up. So again, going to be watching that. Let's see, Charlotte mentioning heavy rain in East Limestone. Yeah, you're in the worst of it right now. And some other folks watching. That's on my Facebook page. Let me roll on over here to check out the Way 31 page and just get a look at some questions here. And I'm not going to stay on for an extended period of time on this. Just wanted to jump on, give you an update, let you know that we're here, we're watching. I've been doing some top of the hour updates. I'll continue to do that on the television side of things. And of course, if you have our app, you can watch that at times as well, but mostly here on social media this evening. Let's see. Just some folks checking in from Ardmore, Newmarket, Vinemont. Billy wants to know how bad in Franklin County, Tennessee. You may have just gotten that alert for the severe thunderstorm warning for areas primarily northwest of Winchester. Again, at this point, wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour look to be the worst that this is going to throw at us, but again, closely monitoring for any sort of spin that may develop along this line. Just more folks checking in. Hampton Cove, Madison, Huntsville, New Hope. Appreciate you all tuning in this evening. So again, just to kind of summarize what we're looking at here, and I'll leave the radar up a little bit after I'm done before we end the live. We are getting a few reports of some trees down. Morgan County, report of a tree down on 11th Street Southeast, that coming from the Morgan County EMA. Shared with us with our friends at the Huntsville National Weather Service, passing that information along. Also report some power outages in the city of Decatur, 22 without power in Decatur, 300 without power in Morgan County itself. So again, the storms are packing a little bit of a punch. They're bringing some wind. And you know, if you live in an area, if the wind blows a little bit, you lose power. Just keep in mind, you can keep up with the storms on our app. In the event that you were to lose power, the alerts, you'll get those there, along with being able to check in on the radar. Again, a quick look at the line here. You know, it's kind of ragged looking. It was a bit more stout when it was coming through the shoals. It is starting to break up just a little bit. Again, I'll have to watch for anything that looks real concerning here along the line. Nothing that immediately jumps out at me. We'll just start to hear from north to south. Fayetteville, the main part of the line, tracking in within the next 30 minutes, although right now they're in southwest Lincoln County. It's not particularly strong. The line does get a little bit stronger down into Madison County. Again, heading through the Harvest area here, out Highway 53, Jordan Lane there, northwest part of the county. Now through the city of Madison, seeing the heavier downpours coming on through. A little bit of thunder and lightning mixed in, although even now, not seeing quite as much lightning out of this. You see a few of the recent strikes. But again, earlier when this was out towards the shoals, this was lit up just a bit more with lightning. So again, could be a good sign that maybe the severe weather threat isn't going to be particularly high. I'm going to take a quick look here, wind velocities, see if there's anything of concern. Again, we'll kind of keep an eye on things here. Out towards Harvest, maybe a little circulation there. Let me see. Just some more reports, some trees down Highway 72, east of Clements. I'll keep an eye here. This is, again, Harvest. Maybe a little rotation showing up. Again, when we look at the wind velocity, red's blowing away from the radar, green towards. So a little bit of broad circulation right around Highway 53. It's Alabama 53. And this is North Day Hill Road, Harvest Road, North Day Hill neighborhood, Harvest Road. So Harvest Road, Highway 53. Going to keep an eye on that. Again, nothing that, take a look here. There's the latest scan update. It's a little bit displaced. This may be some strong wind coming on in. So that could be what we're seeing here, as opposed to any sort of tornado spin up. So I would prepare, again, in this area, stretching just east of Harvest towards Mount Lebanon, maybe some strong wind here. And again, that'll be the possibility all along this line, some strong wind. See the heavy rain coming through Madison right now, along 565, heading into the west side of Huntsville, Redstone Arsenal, seeing that coming on through. And this will continue to move across the city. Again, some strong wind gusts. We just got rain here on top of Montesano, but I'll be interested to see how much blowing we get when this comes over the top of the mountain where our studios are. Heavy rain in Triana, back into the southwest corner, Madison County, into the northern parts of Morgan County. Again, right along where the rain picks up. Could be a little gust of wind here. Take a closer look, see if there's any spinning. Not really. You see the wind shift. That's what's indicated here by the change from red to green. That's the radar picking up the wind shift coming on in. That's your little gust of wind. So another quick look back in here into northwest Madison County, northwest of, or east of Harvest. Take a look at one other thing here just to make sure. Okay. Again, I think that just may be some strong wind coming in, particularly here. Again, very close to Harvest Road. This is Jeff Road right here. So Harvest Road, Jeff Road, this area just east, perhaps a little strong gust of wind coming through there, kind of a localized strong wind area. So we're going to keep an eye on that. New severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see, another report of some trees down Morgan County. This is on Danville Road Southwest. New severe thunderstorm warning, basically an extension of what we've got going on. So I think that is what you can anticipate as we head through the rest of this evening. You can see that new severe thunderstorm warning, large severe thunderstorm warning, basically an extension of the existing ones that covers the rest of Morgan, Coleman County, northeast Coleman County, Marshall County, now in that severe thunderstorm area, East Madison County, West Jackson County, more of Franklin County included in severe thunderstorm warning. So again, along this whole line, there's going to be the potential for some strong wind gusts. Again, upwards 50, 60 miles per hour. And then that's going to be it. Again, the line's fairly narrow. It'll come and go pretty quickly, and then there'll be a period of what we call stratiform rain that will linger behind that for a while longer. One of the other things that may limit the severe weather potential is this rain to the east that's been falling here, Marshall, Jackson, DeKalb County. That's kind of stabilizing the atmosphere a little bit more, making a little bit less fuel for this line of storms to tap into as it moves into Sand Mountain. But again, potential for some strong wind gusts out of that as well. All right, I think I'm going to just wrap up for now. And of course, we'll come back on if we need to do some more updates. But again, we've got this strong line of storms now coming into Lincoln County, southern Middle Tennessee, western parts of Madison County, getting ready to move through Huntsville, extending down into Morgan, Coleman County. This line comes east, brings with it heavy downpours, little thunder and lightning. There's not a whole lot of lightning out of this right now. And again, the possibility for some strong isolated wind gusts, 50, 60 miles per hour. And again, we'll keep an eye on any spin-up tornado potential. But again, the atmosphere, not super unstable. And I will say this line is not looking quite as stout as it did when it entered the shoals in northwest Alabama a little bit earlier. But again, we'll likely continue to get some of these severe thunderstorm warnings. So once this main line has passed, you're going to be over and done with for the threat of severe weather for the remainder of the night. So let me time this out to another extended storm track for those of you that maybe didn't join at the very beginning. This line coming east pretty quick, about 50 miles an hour. So that means it will come and go pretty quickly. Scottsboro, expecting to see the leading edge of this probably a little bit after midnight, around 12:15 or so. If it continues at this speed, Fort Payne a little closer to around 12:45, quarter of 1. And then hopefully by 2 o'clock, it's all out of here. So I don't think we'll have perhaps a whole lot longer, or excuse me, I guess it'd be closer to 1 a.m., 1:30 perhaps, before we can give you the all clear across the area. All right, I'm going to close things out here. Just let me take one more check here. Okay, latest from the Weather Service, this just in. Kind of seeing what I'm seeing a weakening trend as the storms are moving east. So they're seeing what I'm seeing. It's always good to get a second opinion and to know that other folks are seeing the same thing. But as I've been passing along some reports of tree damage, power outages, brief signs of some weak rotation, but again, nothing that is particularly alarming at this point in time. So again, going to wrap things up. We're going to watch it. I'll come back on if we need to. We will continue with some top-of-the-hour updates on television on Way 31. If you want to check in, I'll do another one of those at midnight. And if needed, another one at 1 o'clock in the morning. But we're going to continue to monitor things here. You can get alerts. You can check the radar yourself on the Way 31 Storm Tracker weather app. But again, going to close things out for now. Again, keep an eye on it. Know that we will be doing the same.